Warning to China. U.S. deploys 100 drones MQ-9 to Taiwan to war China in South China Sea. American Sea Guardian aerial vehicles would dramatically extend the range of the island's fleet. Expanding capacity to peer into mainland China deal requires congressional approval, and it is not clear if permission would include weaponry. The United States is negotiating the sale of at least 4 sophisticated aerial drones to Taiwan for the first time, aircraft that can keep watch over huge swaths of sea and land, according to 6 U.S. sources familiar with the talks. The Sea Guardian surveillance drones have a range of 6,000 nautical miles, far greater than the 160 nautical mile range of Taiwan's existing fleet of drones, potentially giving the island greater capacity to peer into mainland China, observing its air force, missiles and other facilities. While the State Department tacitly authorized the sale of the unmanned aerial vehicles, 2 of the people said, it was not known whether the U.S. officials had approved exporting the drones with weapons attached, one of them said. The deal must be approved by members of Congress, who might receive formal notification as soon as next month, 2 of the people said. Congress could block a final agreement. Such a sale would most likely anger Beijing, which claims Taiwan as its own territory. Republican and Democratic U.S. senators introduced legislation on Thursday that would block the export, transfer or trade of many advanced drones to countries that are not close U.S. allies. Sales would be allowed to NATO members, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan and Israel. A deal with Taiwan would be the first drone sale after President Donald Trump's administration moved ahead with its plan to sell more drones to more countries by reinterpreting an international arms control agreement called the Missile Technology Control Regime (MTCR). Taiwan's defense ministry declined to comment. In Beijing, Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin repeated his country's opposition to U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, saying Washington should stop them to prevent damage to bilateral ties. While Taiwan's military is well trained and well equipped with mostly U.S.-made hardware, the mainland's military has a huge numerical advantage and is adding advanced equipment of its own, including stealth fighters, anti-satellite missiles and aircraft carriers. Taiwan submitted its request to buy armed drones early this year, one of the people familiar with the talks said. The United States last week sent Taiwan the pricing and availability data for the deal, a key step that denotes official approval to advance the sale. It is, however, non-binding and could be reversed. A deal for the 4 drones, ground stations, spares, training and support could be worth around $600 million United States dollars using previous sales as a guide. There could also be options for more units in the future, one of the people said. The island is bolstering its defenses in the face of what it sees as increasingly threatening moves by Beijing, such as regular air force and naval exercises near Taiwan. Taiwan unveiled its largest defense spending increase in more than a decade last year. President Tsai Ing-wen has made defense modernization a priority, including building new submarines and upgrading Taiwan's F-16 fighter fleet. Relations between Beijing and Washington, already at their lowest point in decades over accusations of spying, a trade war, the coronavirus and Hong Kong, could fray more if the deal gets the final go-ahead from U.S. officials. The Pentagon has said arms sales to Taiwan will continue, and the Trump administration has kept a steady pace of U.S. Navy warships passing through the Taiwan Strait. Beijing has never renounced the use of force to bring the democratic island under its control and has denounced the Trump administration's increased support for Taiwan.